All right, everybody, thank you for joining. We'll go ahead and get started and let others join us as they can. But welcome, my name is Christy Huggins. I'm the VP of Marketing at Userflow, and I am joined by Harish Tiwari, one of our senior product managers, and we're super excited that you guys joined us today. The goal of our session is simple. We want to help you guys get the Userflow MCP and Slack integration set up and live in well under 30 minutes. It'll take a little bit less than that and answer any questions that you guys have along the way. So just a couple housekeeping things before we get going. We are recording the session, so we'll share that out after with all the resources if you need them. But if you've got your account open, you can follow along and set it up with Harish as he walks you through it. You can drop your questions in the chat at any time if you have any. We can answer some of them live. We've got some support team on the call to help with it live. And then if you have other questions at the end, we'll open it up to kind of a working office hours with Harish to answer anything else you guys have as far as it relates to this and potentially anything else on Userflow. It'll take a couple minutes to walk you through this today. We're gonna get you set up, get your Userflow account set up to our MCP. So MCP, as you know, becoming the standard for linking AI tools to data sources like Userflow, so you can ask questions in your data in plain language, get the answers you need easily and quickly without having to log in and build dashboards or look at analytics. We also want to help you get some Slack alerts turned on, so very easy to set up the integration, and Harish is going to give you some example alerts that you can get set up with your team today. And again, we'll walk you through all the details. You can get everything, authentications, permissions, everything set up quickly, easily today. So follow along in your account if you've got it open. And with that, I will turn it over to our senior PM, Harish. So he's going to walk you through all of this today.
Hey, thanks, Christy. I'm very excited for the MCP, right? So MCP, for those who don't know, is sort of the new way to look at data. It basically puts your tool in an AI platform, and all the things that you could do in a particular tool, you'll now be able to do using the AI platform. Userflow MCP also intends to do the same. What we have launched right now is an intelligence layer where you'll be able to come in, you'll be able to talk to the MCP and get all of your data, all understanding of all of your data, analyze things, compare your flows, do a lot of stuff that you cannot very easily do on our tool today. We have analytics within our tool as well. We give you flow analytics, any of the things that you launch. We have analytics for all of that. But if you plug in our MCP into any of your AI tools, the kind of analysis, the kind of in-depth reports, and all of these things that you can get will be way more what our tool currently offers. So that's why the MCP is a huge value add. And it's not just this, right? This is the first step towards our MCP venture. We also intend to give in right tools on MCP, which basically will help you do any sort of actions that you do manually on our tool today. So if you manually create flows, if you're manually creating segments, all of that, eventually they'll also come into a place where you could just do it via prompts. So yeah, we are starting out this journey. We are here to very excited to bring in the intelligence layer, but very soon we are also going to bring the update and write layer within the MCP. So I'll very quickly now start with the demo, right? We are going to do two things in the demo. We'll help you set up the Userflow MCP, and then we'll also talk about a few use cases that you can solve. We have created a few skills that can very easily get you to analysis that would easily take a lot of time for you to get to if not for this MCP, right? So yeah, we'll go through these two things on the MCP right now. I'll very quickly share my screen and we'll get started. Okay, let me know when you can see my screen.
You got
Christy, yeah, cool. Okay, so yeah, this is my Claude account, right? And I'll try and connect the Userflow MCP on my Claude account. So I'll go to customize. We have connectors here. And within connectors, we have this thing called the add button. You'll come in and you'll click on add custom connector. We have it as a custom connector as of now, but very soon I think it will come up as a native connector on Claude. So yeah, that's also something that's coming up. But for now, we'll use this custom connector. We'll give it a name. We'll give it a server URL. This is our Userflow MCP URL, api.userflow.com/MCP. You click on this, you click on add, and then you'll reach a state where it'll ask you to connect to the Userflow account. So you click on connect, and then you'll land on the login page of Userflow. If you're already logged in, well and good, you won't have to do this step. But if you are not, you'll see this particular thing. I'll sign in. And once I sign in, I'll go into the OAuth screen. If you have multiple Userflow accounts that you're a part of, you'll have to select one of those accounts. But if it's just one, you won't have to do any sort of selection. It's automatically coming in here. This is the best practice that we have in terms of authenticating your Claude account with any MCP. So yeah, we have followed all of that. Once you have gone through all of this, you have looked at what Claude will be able to do. You click on allow access and you will be redirected to the Claude account. You will then see that the MCP is connected. Yeah. So you see that the Userflow MCP is available now. We have a lot of tools that will help you do all of your analysis. Tools are basically ways in which the AI platform will talk to our MCP and we'll call those tools. We'll get an understanding of what data to fetch, what actions we need to do, and all of these things. And yeah, for all of these tools, you will have the ability to control how you want to allow things to happen, right? Do you want to allow things automatically? Do you want confirmation before a particular tool is getting called, or you never want to allow a certain tool getting called, right? So these are the things that are generic to any MCP that you connect. And yeah, even we have those read tools for now. As you can see, we only have read tools as of now, so there is no updates or things that you can change via the MCP currently. But yeah, very soon the next step to what we are doing is to bring in write tools as well here. So yeah, very quickly right now we have been able to connect user flow. I'll go ahead and I'll type a very simple query where I'll ask that how many flows do I have on my user flow account, and it should give me a good understanding and very quick way to say that okay, you have these many flows, these are segregated in these types of contents and all of these things. So yeah, I'll just quickly go and ask how many flows do I have on my user flow account. The moment I click on this, it'll start to call tools. So the tools that I showed you in the last panel, this is what it's trying to find and then call. So it is, yeah, it's finding tools and eventually it will find those tools that it needs to list out the flows and count the flows, right? So yeah, one of the tools that we use to get to this particular answer will be the query tool, listing tools. So yes, it basically gives me a very good sense of what all flows I have, how many of them are published, how many of them are in draft. If I want, I can also get a segregation by the type of flow. So if I want to understand how many flows are there, how many announcements are there, all of these things, I'll be able to get that segregation. So if I simply type segregate it by flow type, it will then quickly give me an answer and it will segregate in the different types of contents that we have on user flow. So yeah, these are very simple things, right? This is just to get you started to understand that, okay, the MCP has access to all of the data that will get connected with the account that you chose while you were authenticating. So yeah, this is the basic step that we need to do. This is how you connect. This is how you start talking to the user flow MCP and you start analyzing your data. But this is not all that you can do, right? There are a lot of other things that the user flow MCP will offer you, and it will be out of the box. We have created certain skills that will help you get to those things very quickly. So yeah, I'll very quickly go into my Claude account, right? Which is my Claude desktop account. So yeah, I've been creating certain skills on Claude and it has helped me get to a lot of things very quickly. One of those skills is the user flow compare. So suppose you have two flows that you have launched and you want to understand how two flows are performing, how are they comparing, if certain things are working better on a particular flow and you want to make that available to more users, you will be able to get that comparison very quickly now. You just use this skill. I've already done all of that so that we don't have to wait for all of the inputs to come in. When you trigger the skill, you'll get ask some questions to understand what do you want to compare. We'll ask that is, do you want to compare guides? Do you want to compare the announcements that you have published? All of that. And then we'll ask you to choose the flows that you want to compare. So I've already chosen the flows that I wanted to compare here. There are two flows that we have launched and we want to do that comparison. And like it took me like 2 minutes to get to this analysis and it has given me everything, right? That is happening across the two flows. So I see that on flow one, I get 149 views. On other flow, I get 58. The unique viewers are these many. The completion rate is compared. The second one is having a higher completion rate. Where are we getting more errors? We see that the first one is getting more element errors. We also have a funnel analysis for both of them. This is just a view, right? But at the bottom, you'll also see we get insights among each of the metrics that we are trying to tap into. We'll get why something is happening, when something is happening, what do we need to change. All of those insights also come to you very, very quickly. So this is one of the tools that we have, one of the skills that we created to help you get started with the Userflow MCP very quickly. Another tool that we created is the Userflow MCP NPS Summarizer. So if you are using our NPS flows and you gather comments from whenever someone gives you an NPS score, you will then be able to uh, get the summary of all of it. What kind of positive comments you are getting, what kind of negative comments you're getting, you'll be able to get a very good understanding of that very quickly. Right now, I see a lot of our customers have to skim through all of that manually and then finally understand what's the sentiment, how things are going. You won't need to do all of that with this particular skill that you have. Again, I've tried to get to that before the call itself so that we see what kind of outputs we get. So again, we have an MCP flow. We choose how far back we want to go in the data, and then we look at the kind of comments that we are getting. It summarizes things for us, positive comments, negative comments, who gave what, and then a full understanding of what the insight leads to and what we should change. So yes, this is again a very quick way to get an understanding and dig deep into our data. And yeah, I hope it is really powerful, right? So yeah, this is more or less about the user flow MCP. We get a sense of what is it that user flow can offer to you in terms of the analytics, in terms of data, and you will then be able to ask any sort of questions, get to any sort of analysis in a very quick way. Yes. So yeah, this is about the user flow MCP. We are able to connect with any sort of tools today. It's not just Claude. We are natively listed on ChatGPT as well. So we'll be sharing a link to that plugin. You can directly go in. You don't have to go through that authentication and the custom connector flow that I showed you here. We are natively available on ChatGPT. So if you use that as your core AI platform, please go ahead and connect our plugin there and start asking questions about your user flow account to this. One another use case that I want to cover as part of this is you just don't relatively lie on user flow data, right? If you have multiple tools that you are using, suppose you are using HubSpot, you are using Google Meets to set up meetings with your customers and all of that, you can combine all of that data into one single thing along with user flow data. So the whole goal of building the MCP is to ensure that user flow is a part of your AI stack and you can mix and match data across platforms and get to analysis very easily. So yes, this is what user flow MCP does. It's very powerful. I hope you get a lot of value out of it, right? Uh, Rishi, do you
We
want
had
to
one
question?
question on
Yeah.
we had one question on the difference of read versus write and what that means in the context of user flow.
Understood. So yeah, read versus write, right? So read is anything that will give you access to the data that you have on your user flow account. So if you want to understand how are your flows performing, what kind of analytics you have, if you have created a segment, you want to understand how many users are on those segments, which users are on those segments, any informational data that you want to get out of your account, that is where read tools will come into picture. But when it comes to write tools, it basically helps you do all of these things from user flow. So if you today create a flow, you create an announcement, you have to go to the announcement section on user flow. You have to create an announcement. You have to put in all of your content. You need to choose what type of announcement it is going to be. Is it going to be a pop-out announcement? Is it going to be a boosted announcement? All of these things, right? The right tools will ensure that you can do all of that from your AI platform itself. You don't need to go onto our interface. You don't need to put the time to write the content on your own. You can ask Claude to write the content for you and then just say that I want to create this announcement, put in the content for it and publish it. So those are the things that the right actions will be able to do with the right actions, which are coming very soon. We have already started to test it out internally and we are planning to launch it in the coming months. So yeah, again, a very powerful thing that will come out very, very soon.
Thank you.
So yes, this was all about the user flow MCP, right? But we have one very cool new feature that we have launched other than the MCP as well, which is our Slack integration. This was a very big ask from a lot of our customers. They wanted a way to connect to Slack so that they can get notified when something important happens on the platform. So yeah, on the integration section of our account, we have Slack. You can come in here, you can connect to Slack. Uh, yeah, you'll go through the Slack authentication flow. And once you allow everything, you will have the Slack integration available to you. But the integration in itself does not really do a lot, right? You'll have to have a way to create workflows that will then trigger notifications on your Slack account. So now I'll go to our notification center and we'll try to create a workflow. I'll try to create a very, very simple workflow today. So we recently launched a new feature on Userflow, which was called charts. Now, it's very important to us that a lot of you start to use charts, right? And we want to keep a track of that. We want to understand when you are using it, how frequently you are using it, and all of that. So we'll very quickly create a trigger that whenever someone creates a chart, we get notified on Slack. So we'll name it chart creation notifier. We'll select the event which is chart created. So any of the events that you track on Userflow today, you will be able to use those events. So if you have created event trackers, you're creating custom events, you're passing events from your code, you will be able to use all of those events and trigger things on your Slack. You can also put in conditions. So if you have any attributes that you want to segment on, you get notified only when, say, a particular kind of user is doing a particular action, or if you want to target certain plans and understand what and how they are behaving with a certain feature. If you want to understand whenever someone is creating or completing a flow, all of these actions is where you can use the user flow Slack integration and then start to configure it. So you've chosen your event, you have added your conditions. Now you want to get notified. And it's not just Slack where we notify you, you can also notify you on email. For now, we'll go with Slack. So you'll come in here, you'll choose your Slack channel. We support all public channels that you'll have. Very like 2 hours back, I created a new channel called Slack Webinar just to test out this entire thing, right? And yeah, I choose that channel. I click on next and I'll type out the text that I want to get whenever someone does that action that I put it on the trigger. So I'll say that uh, someone created a chart. And if I want to know who created the chart, if I want to get their details and all of that, I'll be able to do that as well. So if I say want to get the name, I'll come in here, I'll say add the attribute, add their name, and I put in the name here. If I want to say understand their subscription status, I'll come in here, I'll go and again choose the attribute and I'll type subscription state. Now, before I publish and I actually create this workflow, right, I'll want to test it out in some manner. So I'll very quickly go ahead and click on test. This is not something that is published yet, but I still want to test. So I'll click on this test button and yeah, the Slack notification would have gone out to me. Let me find my Slack very quickly. So yeah, we see that a notification just came in, right? So yes, this is how the test notification would work. The reason that you see Marco as the name is because it's a test notification. It's not something that I've personally triggered. So yeah, for tests, we give out dummy values for names and stuff like that. But yeah, when an actual user does an actual action, once you publish this entire thing, you will then be able to get your actual thing as well. So I can simply create this and going forward, whenever someone creates a chart, I'll be able to get all of that. You can see we already create a lot of such notifications today. So yes, this is again a very powerful tool. Something else that we can do along with this is to have email also as a channel. So if you want to get notified personally, or if you have a group email where you want things to get passed on to, you can very well do that as well. So suppose if I type in my email address, we'll come in here, we'll click on next, and then you'll see we have another text box, sort of an input where you'll have to put in a subject and all of that. Once you do that, you put in all of your details. You can update it, and whenever that trigger happens, you'll get an email and a Slack notification together. So yes, this is a notification center. I know Slack was the main part of it, but it's the notification center that enables you to actually get all the information. So yes, I hope both of these features, right, MCP and the Slack integration, really helps you out. It helps you be on top of things. It helps you understand things in a better manner and stuff. So yeah, I hope this was a fruitful exercise. If any one of you were following along and you all wanted to like ask any questions, if you weren't able to configure the MCP, please feel free to ask any questions here. I'm here to guide you on that as well.
Okay, just to answer one we got in the chat. So yes, both the MCP and the Slack integration are available on all Userflow plans and products. Do you think you could talk to us about how to troubleshoot if one of your Slack alerts seems like maybe it's not working or you're not sure if it's firing correctly?
Yeah, I think the test chat is the best way. Like you can keep trying out multiple times. Some things that I've noticed and I've faced a little bit of problem is don't set up your conditions at the very beginning. Uh, Set up your trigger, set up your messaging, set up your channel, test out what kind of message that you are getting, and then start to add conditions. Because a lot of times it so happens that you have set up a condition and due to that you're not able to test out, you're not able to see messages and stuff like that. But yeah, like in most cases, if things are configured properly, you will definitely be getting Slack notifications. There is one catch though, if you are getting a lot of notifications on Slack, the Slack API blocks us for that timing. They have a rate limit on the number of notifications that you can get within a particular minute or so. So if that gets crossed, that is when we'll skip a few notifications, but we'll retry it in the next minute itself. So there may be a delay, but you'll always get a notification coming in. We all maintain it within our queue and track if something is not getting delivered. So yeah, yeah, it should all be good for Slack.
Awesome, thank you. We got a couple minutes left. If anybody else has any questions, you can drop them in the chat. Okay, I think we might be good, but thank you so much, Harish. That was super helpful. And we will send out the deck and we'll send out links to the skills. And we'll get you guys set up with everything that Harish mentioned today. But thank you so much for joining. We really appreciate it. Have a good day. Thanks, Harish.